Our Sunday profile this August evening centers on a man who is currently Hollywood's most successful movie maker. He has directed several of the biggest box office hits, and he has helped write and produce a number of others. His name is Ford Coppola. He is married, the father of three, and he's about to enter a brand new field for him, publishing. Don Harris has this Sunday's profile.
At 36, Ford Coppola has racked up 6 Academy Awards. 1 for the motion picture Patton, 2 for The Godfather, 3 for The Godfather Part 2.
Real success has only 2 people involved in it, yourself and yourself. It's what you think you've done. I may this year be one of the more successful film directors around, but in terms of the films that I want to make and that I can make, I have not, nor will I ever come close. I have one rule, is every film I do, every project I'm involved with is always about 10 or 20% more tough than I can pull off.
The Godfather was originally intended to be a low-budget Hollywood quickie. Coppola changed it into a remarkable film. The Godfather and its sequel made him a wealthy man. Ford Coppola wants to work in San Francisco as a director, writer, producer, and publisher. But San Francisco is not a publishing or motion picture or theatrical center. So Coppola has set about creating his own environment. He has begun assembling a communications and entertainment complex.
What I want to do is I want to do live from the Little Fox Theater a radio adaptation that we're working on of Heart of Darkness, Joseph Conrad. Now imagine you're reading the paper tonight at 8 o'clock.
He shows potential clients through a group of buildings that will eventually house his recording studios, a radio station, a theater for stage productions, another for films, post-production facilities for motion pictures, and City Magazine, Coppola's publishing outlet.
This is Reed's nice book.
What's a good book? This is what I like. I like it when it starts looking like Life magazine.
Did you like Life?
Yeah, I like pictures.
Coppola has a driving energy, an overriding faith in his ability to make things happen, and an ego that, at the least, matches his capabilities. Ford Coppola has money and influence now, and he uses it. But he says he no longer exercises the absolute authority he had as a director.
I preside over the enterprise in a very malleable way, which means I can be told I'm wrong and that there's a better idea. I like to set the tone for the project, and I like to be very clear that there is someone presiding so that it's not chaotic.
Coppola is sure of himself and his abilities. Because he felt the staff members were not equally self-assured, they suddenly found they had a new boss.
Right now, who is the editor of this magazine? There can't be no editor. It can't be a pal. It's got to be an editor.
Michael's the editor of this magazine right now.
Right.
That's what's happening.
It's what's happening, but it's not even that's not because Michael basically is interested in what he's doing. He's not interested in reading and editing down something. That's not what his.
No, it's driving him crazy.
All right, so we need an editor, and I'm going out and getting an editor. You see, basically you respond to people who feel passionately about something. Mm-hmm. It's like if you're witnessing the operation, surgery on your kid, and you go into the doctor and you say to the doctor, "Oh, gee, why don't you cut the artery there and there?" If the doctor says, "That's a good point," if he doesn't, you'd be terrified. So what you want from the people who work with you is, no, that's no good. The magazine will not survive. I mean, this magazine costs $180,000 a month. You realize how much money that is? That's $1 million every 6 months. Mm-hmm. So, I don't have the time to fool around and wait for 6 months and change. I got to get it right now, or it's going to just break me.
To promote his new magazine, Coppola gave a party at his San Francisco home. His guests were representatives from advertising agencies, people who could make his magazine a commercial success. Though he seemed vaguely uncomfortable with all these strangers inside his home, Coppola courted them.
Sophia, look at this. Sophia, look at this. I'm just as tall as he is.
And I know you're real busy, but if you can make it...
They courted him.
It's getting down now to, like every day they got me somewhere, and I gotta start preparing my film, so it's really rough for me to commit to something.
Coppola gave advice.
Give my regards.
I said I tried to get you to support her, but you did not meet her. You were not charmed by her.
I didn't say I wasn't charmed by her.
Support some non-entity.
Don't say that. Which do you think is better?
And took advice.
If you do it in the den.
Whatever you say.
Okay?
Okay, anything you want.
And he resolutely exploited himself. to ensure the success of his magazine.
What we'd like to do for the next couple of minutes is to have Fränsis talk about a terrific magazine called City.
I've been, talking about the publication. Obviously, I decided, whenever it was, a month ago, that the best way to let the large mass of people that we want to reach know about it was to use myself in a quasi-humorous way to tell people about it. I'm so sick of talking about it.
But they haven't heard you before.
They heard me on television. They're sick of it.
The guests seemed favorably impressed. The publisher of City magazine had gotten their attention. Some say that Coppola is simply a good organizer and an energetic salesman with a great deal of luck. Others say he's a genius. What does Coppola say?
My feeling is that I am not a genius, and for a very good reason, is that I am not mad enough. I'm basically a very logical, sane, emotionally sound person. I'm very passionate and very extravagant, but I'm really sane. It seems to me that genius that I have known in little touches has a touch of madness to it. I think that I'm a very imaginative person. I'm a good solver of problems. I always have a solution. I'm a good dreamer, and that is my talent. Maybe that's genius.